John, John, where is John? Connected. There we go. John?
All right. Sorry, had a little problem there. Do a little roll call here. Commissioner Donahue, I see you there.
Present.
Commissioner Howe,
Present.
Commissioner Krieger,
Here.
and Commissioner McCarthy.
Here.
Secretary Wynn, are we all set on your end?
Yes, I'm good to go.
How are you tonight, Ryan?
With regards to the minutes of the meeting, this is the meeting for the License Commission, Thursday, November 5th, 2020 at 6 p.m. It's a Zoom meeting, and I believe LTC is with us to record. Starting with the first item is the acceptance of meeting minutes for October 22nd, 2020.
Move approval.
Move approved by Commissioner McCarthy, seconded by Commissioner Donahue. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion carries. Next on the agenda.
Following which we have a public hearing continued from the last meeting, October 22nd, on the application by Mill City Provisions LLC, doing business as Lowell Culinary Collaborative. Elizabeth A. Falk is the LLC manager for the transfer of the malt beverages and wines package store license from the entity known as Mill City Cheesemongers LLC. This is Elizabeth Falk is the LLC manager, and it's for a change of the location from its location at 250 Jackson Street, unit number 453, to the premises at 160 Merrimack Street, unit B.
Good evening, Elizabeth. Are you with us tonight?
I am here. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you tonight?
Very well, thanks. Thanks for having us back.
Thank you very much. Once again, kind of refresh our memories. What's going on here?
Sure. So this is really primarily a change of location. I had a specialty cheese and wine shop at Mill Number 5. We were closed for much of the summer because of COVID restrictions. And towards the end of the summer, I partnered with Shannon Arenberg, who is the current owner of Sweet Lydia's on Merrimack Street. We formed the Lowell Culinary Collaborative, and I have essentially moved my cheese and other specialty foods into that space on Merrimack Street. We're committed to staying downtown and to doing as much as we can to be a part of downtown Lowell's business district. So we're hoping to transfer our wine inventory and wine sales to the Merrimack Street location.
Very well. Secretary Wynn, are all the paperwork all in order?
Yes, Attorney Eliopoulos had followed through with the notification to abutters by a certified mail return receipt,
Right.
and also including the superintendent of schools, the city of Lowell, as well as the churches, St. Anne's, and I believe it's
Shrine.
St. Joseph's, as well as there's a private school. I shouldn't say a private school, but a school on Middle Street that's
The charter school.
charter school. Yeah, charter school. So
it's-
everything is done in everything is in order. Thank you.
So is it safe to say that you haven't been to the shrine in a while, Ryan? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I haven't. Not that shrine, anyways.
Attorney Eliopoulos, do you have anything else to offer?
I don't think so. I think, excuse me, I've lost my voice a bit, but I think Elizabeth did a great job. It's it certainly is a transfer, but because it's a related entity, really not much is changing. Beth is going to continue to be the manager. She's done a great job so far. No issues. I can't think of a better place these days than a place you can get wine, cheese, and chocolates. Pretty much one-stop shopping for the rest of the year. So again, I think everything is in the packet. Mr. Wynn was wonderful. We went over it together thoroughly before I submitted it. So I believe everything is there, and certainly we're here to answer any questions that you have. But again, even though we are technically going under a transfer, it's more like a change of location and just the name of the entity or the entity itself is changing.
Commissioner McCarthy would probably be looking for his senior citizen discount over there. I hope they can accommodate.
Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioners, any questions or comments for the applicant?
Nothing.
I have a comment. I would just like to thank
Yeah.
the applicants for locating downtown.
Yeah, very well taken. Yep,
Thank you.
very good. Do we have a motion to approve?
Move approval.
Second.
Approved by Commissioner Donnie.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
I'm
do you want
sorry.
to open it up for public comment?
Oh, okay.
That would be a good idea. How's that? All right, this time we'll open up the public hearing. Anybody like to speak in opposition? In opposition? In opposition? Hearing no one, that portion of the public hearing is closed. Anybody like to speak in favor? In favor? In favor? Hearing no one, that portion of the public hearing is closed. There's a motion on the floor by Commissioner Donnie to accept, seconded by Commissioner Howe. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Attorney Iliopoulos, Elizabeth, I wanted to wish you guys the best of luck downtown. We wanted, the city of Lowell wants to thank you for bringing your business downtown, and hopefully we can get people downtown here really soon. Thanks again.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for your help. Have a wonderful night, everybody.
You as well.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good luck.
Members of the commission, proceeding with agenda item number 2 of the public hearing on the application by the entity known as U Gallery LLC. Piano Jump is the LLC manager. He's also being proposed as the manager of record for an all-alcoholic beverages restaurant license for premises at 103 Market Street. The first floor, it's one room, 1,800 square feet, one entrance, 2 exits. There's a basement for storage. Also, this application includes an application for license for common vittler and for license for entertainment in a licensed restaurant for the entity U Gallery.
And who do we have here for the applicant?
Kayano Jump is with us, and I believe his brother Matthew Walterding.
Yes, how you guys doing?
Matthew Walterding.
How are you gentlemen doing tonight?
Doing good, thank you for having us.
All right, so tell us about your venture.
So Hugh Gallery, I'm sure you're familiar with Uncharted and what a wonderful place that was here in Lowell for the art community and beyond. So we really wanted to bring that back, but kind of put a bit more of an upscale twist on it and start bringing in some good food, some good drink, and some good live shows. So Hugh Gallery, in essence, is a upscale gallery lounge concept that's going to specialize in meze dishes, specialty meze dishes, where we really want to work with a good chef on it, have some awesome drinks, some live music, and really recharge the art community here, and kind of bring that back once we could all get downtown like you had mentioned. So that's kind of Hugh Gallery in a nutshell on what we're trying to do there.
Very good. What's the capacity over there?
About 90.
Oh, 90, okay. Ryan, before I open it up to the floors to the commission, is there any questions or comments? All the paperwork in order?
Yes, I just want to make a point that Kayano had followed through on notification to abutters by certified mail return receipt request. Just want the commission to understand, and I spoke with Commissioner Donahue earlier this afternoon on the matter, that abutting property includes condominiums, or condo units, I should say. There are a number of buildings across the street, or I should say across from 103 Market Street, that are, in sum total, there are approximately 238 units. So if you, as an applicant, were to notify each and every unit owner, you would be sending them certified mail return receipt requests at the cost of $6.40 each. By doing that to each unit owner, you're talking a total of $1,500 for mailing to abutters. Whereas about 2 years ago, I had an opportunity to sit in on a meeting with the executive director of the Alcoholic Beverages Control Commission, and I made a pointed question to him about the matter of notification to abutters, and pointing out to him that in the city of Lowell, we have buildings that have been converted to housing. A number of those housing buildings include condos, and the assessor's office lists them as separate units, and as theoretically, they are abutters. So he pointed out to me that based on some information that Alcohol Beverages Control Commission had received from the Secretary of State's office, if the condominium complex has an association or a building manager or building association, that will suffice in notifying the sum total of those units, and that it would be incumbent upon the building manager or the association to notify its members. In this
Very good.
case,
Yeah.
Mr. Cayano Jump had done just that. He contacted the building managers or the building association representatives, and he was able to reduce the number of notifications to, rather than 238, it was to number of 13. And that was more reasonable, as that cost $83.
So let me ask you something, Ryan. Is there then a formal vote of condominium owners to the full committee that they have there, or how does that all work?
Well, it's really incumbent upon the applicant is to notify the abutters by certified mail return receipt request. That's the bottom line. Based on what I've just conveyed to you about what the executive director had mentioned to me, suffice it to say that if the building where the units are located has an association,
Mhm.
that will suffice for the applicant to notify the association. Beyond that, it's up to the association, and it's not in the manageable or not within the control of the applicant to know if, in fact, the association actually
I
said,
get it.
okay.
I get it. Yeah. No, good point. Thanks for that information. Sounds like a great venture, guys. Looking forward to seeing it, but I want to open up the floor to all the commissioners for any questions that they may have at this time.
If I might,
Commissioner Donahue, go
Chairman?
ahead.
Mr. Jump and Mr. Walter Ding, what's your past experience in running a restaurant?
Yeah, so my mother is Renee Walterding, and that's his sister. This is actually my uncle. So I've been in the restaurant since the beginning of Mill City Barbecue, from Warm Street down to 11 Kearney Street. I've been in the restaurant industry.
Okay, you have a good teacher.
Yeah, yes. All there.
So whose food's going to be better? Your aunt's or yours?
That's
That's
the
up
thing.
to you guys
Yeah,
to
that's-
tell us.
That's actually what we've been talking about.
All right. Anybody else had any questions or comments?
I was going to ask the same question that Joe did, and I also want to thank the applicants for locating downtown.
Yes, we want
Absolutely.
downtown, yes.
So when do we, obviously, under these challenging times, guys, when do we plan on opening here?
Yeah, we're looking at a February 1st open. We planned it ready before then, but February 1st, just to, yeah. So we'll
Great.
kind of start rolling out the marketing and the branding and getting people excited about it and, connecting with these condo associations and, in the meantime, so. should
Looking
be-
forward to it. Looking forward to it, guys. It sounds like an exciting experience for you guys, and we hope you do well. Any other further comments from the commissioners? Do I have a motion on the floor?
Mr. Chairman, can you
Go ahead.
open the meeting to the public?
You're killing it. You are killing it. That's all for two tonight. That's not good. At this time, we'll open up the public hearing. Anybody like to speak in opposition? In opposition? In opposition? Hearing no one, that portion of the public hearing is closed. At this time, we'll open up the public hearing. Anybody speak in favor? In favor? In favor? Hearing no one, that portion of the public hearing is closed. Motion on the floor
Move approval.
Second.
by Commissioner McCarthy, seconded by Commissioner Howe. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Gentlemen, the
Good
best
luck,
of luck.
guys.
Good luck.
Thanks,
Thank you
I
guys so much.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
Good luck.
We can't wait to see you guys down there, February 1st.
Good.
I don't know if you can beat your aunt's food, but good luck to you. Be well, guys. Take care. Have a good night.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Proceeding with our third agenda item, we have another public hearing on the application by the entity known as the Pinella Restaurant Corporation. Juan P. Azevedo Zuluaga is the president, and this is for transfer of the license from the Sporting and Athletic Club of Lowell, Inc. Juan is also the president of the entity, the SAC Club, as we commonly refer to it as. And this is also for a change of license type from all alcoholic beverages club to all alcoholic beverages restaurant, and for premises that exist presently at 525 Market Street, which is the first floor, 3 rooms, approximately 4,300 square feet, 3 entrances, 3 exits.
Do you have anybody representing the client tonight?
I am Attorney Greg Curtis, representing the client.
Attorney Curtis, how are you tonight?
Very well, thank you.
Floor is yours, sir.
We made a decision with Juan and his sister, who have been running the Panella Restaurant, and Juan has also been running the Sac Club for a little over a year, that it makes sense at this point to shy away from the private club and go to a full retail restaurant. The private club, Sac Club, has been around for many, many years, and it served its purpose, but at this point, they have a good business with the Panella Restaurant. His sister is a trained chef. They've been running the Panella Restaurant out of the small section of the main floor, and they thought it would be in the best interest to transfer the liquor license from the Sac Club, being a private club, to a regular retail restaurant establishment. Juan has been the manager of record. They've had a good record in the last year. They did pretty well considering the pandemic, and had some good outside seating, which I know is eventually going to be going away. But they feel confident that now that that bridge has been repaired and replaced, and that neighborhood is doing a tremendous job with trying to stay afloat. So they feel that having a restaurant with the capacity of serving food and having the public come and go, not having a private establishment, would be much more beneficial. They do have a lease for the property. They plan on being there long term. So I'm hoping that it works out well for them. There's been a few establishments in there prior to Juan and his sister, and they've really brought it to the next level. I think they'll do very well.
In the paperwork, Ryan, has all the money been transferred over, Attorney Curtis, in the purchase price? Is that everything's been settled?
Yeah, well, they operated the Sac Club, and when they purchased that from Dennis Gano, there was a lot of outstanding debt. So we've dealt with that situation with Mr. Kazanjian, who is the landlord, and trying to resolve that. I don't know if Mr. Gano is still in the area. I've tried to reach out to him. But with regard to...
Have those incidents been taken care of with?
They've been taken care of to the point where all the debt has been paid, and all the retail beverage companies and everything else have been resolved. But we're still trying to resolve, if we can reach out to Dennis Gano and hopefully resolve any matters with regard to Dennis's transfer. All the transfer was done, and that was done well over a year ago. But there were some issues with a lot of...
So is that transfer been completed or not?
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, that transfer was long completed with regard to ABCC, the transfer of personal debt between Mr. Gano and Mr. Kazanjian has not been completed. But that has with the real estate.
Ryan, can you help me understand if there's any loose ends not tied up here?
Well, into what Attorney Curtis has just spoken to, I can't speak to that. I don't know Sac Club, as I always knew it, and as I'm sure members of the commission are well aware, is a nonprofit organization. It's a Chapter 180 organization. I believe Mr. Gano may have had some issue with the issue of the matter of a transaction, but to what degree, I don't know. He may be with us right now, and if public hearing portion of this meeting, he wishes to address that, the commission, he's more than welcome to do so. He did reach out to me in the office, he called on Monday, and I pointed out to him what he may do if he wished to be part of this hearing this evening. That being said, I just wanted to add one couple of things with regards to the application by Penella. They have filed application for common vittler. They've filed application for entertainment and licensed restaurant. And they've also filed application for license for automatic amusement device, which means to say video games, pinball machines, or an operative pool table, if that be the case.
Yeah.
I just want to make the commission aware of, and with all due respect to Attorney Curtis, I'm not sure, in terms of notifying abutters, it's my understanding, and based on what I received from Attorney Curtis, it was done by first-class mail. So I don't know whether the commission has any concern on that matter. It's incumbent upon the applicant to notify abutters, and it's certainly expected of each and every applicant to notify by certified mail return receipt requests.
We did the certification at the post office that, and we also signed the affidavit that basically indicated that we had mailed out and mailed at the post office by that particular date to all the abutters. There was a short list of abutters regarding that property, and we also notified the Hellenic Orthodox Church because we felt that was within the 500-foot range, even though it probably is outside that range. But we thought, being a church, that we should notify them. I'm on the board at the Holy Trinity Church, and they did receive that. I didn't get anybody telling me they did not receive it from the certified list that we received from the assessor's office.
Okay. Other than that, the paperwork, Ryan, all squared away?
Yes, as far as for the applicant itself, the Penella Restaurant Corporation, the application is in order.
All right, before I go to public hearing, any questions or comments from the commission?
One question, if I might. Attorney Curtis,
Yes.
have you filed a copy of the affidavit of mailing with the clerk, with the License Commission?
Yes, I sent that to Ryan last week.
Great, thank you.
I have
Any-
I have a
Go ahead,
question on
Commissioner Howell.
on the certified mailing. I recall, I believe it was the Mill City Brew that I think she sent out notice and it wasn't by certified mail, and we had her redo it. So my only concern about the notice not being by certified mail is that if an abutter comes out of the woodwork and says, wait a minute, I didn't get notice, and they didn't do it by certified mail, that's my only concern. I'm not looking to delay this or cause Mr. Curtis any additional work, but
Well,
Brian,
yeah,
just-
if I may, Commissioner Howard, just to add to that, and the only concern is when the applicant, if such a situation were to arise on any type of application of this, they can petition the Alcohol Beverages Control Commission for a hearing that they were not properly notified. Then it would be a burden upon the applicant to present the proper evidence that they were properly notified. I can only give to the Alcohol Beverages Control Commission exactly what I've just conveyed to the board itself. As Attorney Curtis had just mentioned, he did file an affidavit of notification, but the only concern and the asterisk on that affidavit, if I may use that word, is it's not certified mail return receipt. In the past, what the commission has done, and most recently we did with the application by Mill City Provisions, was to ask the attorney to send notice to the abutters by certified mail return receipt, and then just continue the hearing to the next meeting with a cover letter on the notice. But that's obviously up to the applicant or the commission itself.
We had 7 abutters, one being the city of Lowell and one being the Los Angeles and one being the owner, Kazanjian, who is the owner of the Marsac Realty Trust, who owns the property next door. The only one abutter, Joseph El Kahar, is the only abutter that's at the corner of Merrimack and Hanover Street. Other than that, the abutters are either the city of Lowell or the Hellenic Orthodox Church, which I know they received because I'm on the board at the Hellenic Orthodox Church. I imagine, my understanding was that having the certificate of mailing, that I did bring these and mail them out first-class mail at the post office, and they stamped that and then signed the affidavit. I was under the impression that that was sufficient, but there was not a long list of abutters that we needed to notify.
So if I may just add to that, as Attorney Curtis just mentioned, Mr. Joseph Alcara has property at 11 Hanover Street, and also he has property at 520 Merrimack Street. And both properties are listed as abutters.
Correct.
And then there is the Loxon Canal, which is listed at 141 Suffolk Street. And then we have the City of Lowell, the Market Street Bridge. Zanjian has the trust, Sac Realty Trust for 688 Broadway, and he is the landlord, and he's entered the lease agreement. And then, as Attorney Curtis has mentioned, he included the Hellenic Orthodox Holy Trinity Church at 62 Lewis Street.
Ryan, let's see if John's still with us.
I
John?
am. I am. You know what? I'm listening to Attorney Curtis, and I understand Commissioner Howe's concerns. I don't have a problem going forward with this. I did have a problem at the beginning with, with the transfer of some of this money that may or may not have transferred to the right hands at the right time. But that's something that's really not before us. If the commissioners don't have any other opposition to this, I'd like a motion to approve.
Move to, oh, no, we have to hold the meeting, do we?
Do I go over 3 tonight?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. But after that, I move.
I want, John, I want to say something about the notice.
Sure.
I agree that we should approve this tonight. However, I think we should be consistent with people regarding their certified mail, because I remember that we made Renee redo that. So I agree it should go forward as long as Ryan's saying that abutters have a right to appeal.
Can Ryan, can we note that? Because Martha brings up a very good point there.
I'm sorry, what is it?
Can we make sure that we note that? Because
As a matter of fact, I with all due respect, I did not
other than the other one from Hanover, who was the same landlord, I understand it. But Martha's point is well taken, is that, are we going to be setting a precedent here?
Under the circumstances, I can't say it's a precedent, because it goes back in time, this whole business of notification for abutters by certified mail return receipt. My only concern is, and as I just noted, it's incumbent upon the applicant to notify the applicant of the abutters in the manner that serves the best public notice to the abutters, and it's an assurance that if there was an objection at a later date, we have proof that compliance with the law was had by this particular applicant. But it would be there may be a point to argue with the Alcohol Beverages and Control Commission if the case ever did arise later, as far as whether the first-class mail notification and the affidavit filed by the legal counsel will suffice to meet that burden.
I don't know if we're going down a slippery slope here, because I really don't.
John, I think
ahead.
we're okay. What we have is we have a technical problem in this case. The risk is with the applicant, and the applicant and his lawyer have not said, oh, darn, let us come back in 2 weeks. If they had said that, I would have been fine with that, but they're willing to accept the risk. And I think it's a slightly different case than the previous case. I take Martha's point, but I think that was a different situation. So I'm prepared to move forward. I don't think we're setting a precedent.
Martha, comment?
The only comment I thought was, could we approve it tonight and request the certified mail go out? And if there's any issue, we can have it at the next meeting. I don't know. Maybe that's not possible.
Why wouldn't that be possible, Ryan? Could we do that? I kind of like that happy medium.
Well, the other thing is, yeah, you could approve it tonight, but before I would send the application to the Alcohol Beverages Control Commission, I wouldn't do it until after the matter is addressed at the next scheduled meeting, which would be November the 19th. I think
I got it.
by the virtue of the fact, first of all, the business itself, the entity, the SAC Club, has filed its renewal. I received its renewal application today for the SAC Club. So the license of it in itself is still there for the premises. This business of the transfer to the entity, the business corporation, is, you know, who am I to say, but I would think another 10 days on the final approval would not change much of anything in terms of what the Alcohol Beverages Control Commission may do, because they're going to have to review this application by one of their investigators. And chances are this application, they're going to make sure that the tax situation for the SAC Club is satisfactory. They're going to make sure that the Pinella Corporation tax situation is satisfactory.
Yeah.
And so if you wish, if in anticipation of it finally being approved by the state, I'm looking at probably the middle of December at the best case scenario, I'm guessing.
Attorney
So,
Curtis, you all right with that?
Yeah, I have no problem. If you want me to send out, there's so few, I'll send out certified mailings to all the listed abutters and get the green cards back and send them in.
Yeah, I think we'd appreciate it from our end, just so it's a little bit cleaner on our end.
That's
and,
fine.
And we'll do
So
it that way.
if I may just suggest to the attorney, a cover letter saying that the commission continue the hearing to the next meeting, which would be November 19th at 6 p.m. by Zoom, and with the same legal notice that had been published, and that it would be continued to the next meeting on the November 19th.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Let's set, you also with that, Attorney Curtis, you good with that?
That's fine. That's
All
fine.
right,
We're
we
operating now, and we don't anticipate that this would be approved with ABCC till sometime in the future anyway. So another few weeks is not going to be a problem.
This board appreciates it. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Yeah,
All right, next on the agenda, Attorney Curtis, have a good night.
Thank you.
thank you.
So final agenda item would be the matter that's been kind of discussed in the matter of the fees for the alcohol beverage license holders. And a review of the annual fees that have been paid by restaurants, hotels, and club licensees, particularly these business owners that have been affected by the COVID-19 mandate, which affected them started last March and has been continuing, and it's been sort of underscored by the governor in a recent advisory and mandate of the restrictions imposed on those business owners.
Sure, understood, and I'm sure fellow commissioners have received calls with this concern as well. So I'm gonna kind of open up the floor for comments, and we'll go it that way.
Okay, okay, Martha, you look like you started when I did. Go ahead.
Thank you. So this is a really important issue. I understand bars and restaurants are critical for the health of the downtown. I agree that these establishments are entitled to some type of relief, whether it's reduced rate or deferred collection. But unfortunately, we as commissioners, it's not our money. It's the city's money. So we have a fiduciary duty to the city and to the city budget. Now, I'm not an expert on the city budget. I do know things are tight. So it's my recommendation that we refer it to the city council for an advisory vote. They're the governing body and have the city council weigh in on it. And then we will be doing our due diligence. We won't be breaching any fiduciary duty, and we will be able to make a decision with an informed decision. That's my recommendation.
Thank you, Commissioner Howe. Commissioner Krieger, go right ahead.
I like the recommendation from Commissioner Howe. I also like the idea that we think about next year as being in part, because we don't know when COVID-19 is going to go away. So to charge a lot of money for the first 4 months, 6 months, when they can't earn the money, seems like it's ethically wrong. On the other hand, if they're back in business on the 1st of July, I think that they should be making a proportionate contribution.
Understood. Commissioner Donahue, anything else offered?
I am fully in accord with giving a break to the restaurants and the bars in the city because of the devastating effect the pandemic's had on them. I'm not at all, I'm concerned with the small businesses, not the chain restaurants either so much, but and the package stores, they're doing okay. So I had some ideas about giving some relief to the restaurants, but Martha's idea is good, and I suppose we should have some consultation with those that are making the final decision as to where the money's going to go. I don't think we're going to be able to give them an awful lot of relief, but certainly they can all put their applications, which have got to be done this month, in, and they don't have to file a fee when they're making sure they're renewing, because we know some restaurants are going to go into hibernation for the winter. And we hope to see them with a license and fees that we can charge them when they open up, and hopefully it'll be in stage 4 when they open up in the spring. But Martha's idea is a good one.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner McCarthy, anything to offer?
Yeah, I think Martha's idea is a good one. And we do need to try to find some type of relief for the bars. As we know, I think it's the old court has closed up until springtime.
Yep.
There's just no business for them, you know, it's difficult. I hope there won't be more, but I wouldn't be surprised.
You also heard the Wharf and Web.
Yep.
Is that closed also, Joe?
Yeah, I believe we'll have to doing the same thing. I appreciate everybody's comments up from fellow commissioners, all well taken. I did want to make sure that we're all clear that, in fact, it is this board's responsibility to make a decision, not, as I am being told, it's not the city council or the city manager's office or anything else. But I think when you're talking, I think Martha's point is well taken. When we're talking about the revenue that is taken in by these licenses, which I believe is somewhere close to $300,000, I believe everybody's involvement in decision is worthy. We're 5 people in this board that we make rational decisions, but I think when we're dealing with this type of money, I think other people should be involved in making the decision. I'm not shying away from making the decision. I don't think the other 4 members of this board are doing that same thing, but I think other input is valued, and I think we should do that and make a decision at our next meeting on the 19th. Does anybody have any comments to my comments or suggestions?
Go ahead, Cliff.
Can we reach out to DPD, because they're conducting activities to sustain small businesses in Lowell? Would they have some insight? Maybe they would.
I know there is some type of federal grants that is out there. I don't know to what extent that these businesses would have to fill out paperwork online. I don't know what it is. So I think, once again, Commissioner Howe's point of let's hold this off a couple of weeks. Let's get some more information as a group, and then let's come up with a good decision. Let's talk to some other people. Let's talk to some other business people, and understanding that, once again, the city's revenue right now is not where it needs to be, and $300,000 out of the coffers could be 4 policemen or 4 firefighters. And I'm not trying to push that analogy, but I mean, it's still a lot of money, but I agree with everybody's points that, you know what, we also have restaurants here now that are now closing at 9:30 at night, where you're really taking a bite out of these people's revenue. So I agree with everybody's point, and I think let's try to get some more information from the parties on the other side, from City Hall, city councilors, and maybe City Council could bring it up at their next meeting. I'll ask Mr. Gary if he doesn't mind putting it up on the agenda, and one of us can go there and speak. And I think it'd be good for the public to hear, because once again, if that's the case and that revenue is gone, then that's going to come on the residential tax base. So there's a lot to talk about here. I mean, it's not tens of millions of dollars, but it's still $300,000 of city money. So let's do our due diligence and respect the process.
I mean, not only could it come on the tax base, it could come on city employees, layoffs.
That's right. All right, do I have a motion on the floor to, let's hold this off to the 19th?
So moved.
So moved. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Uh,
Any opposed? All right, let's do that. And I thank everybody's input on this. Much appreciated.
Move German.
Move from adjournment by Commissioner Krieger, second by Commissioner
Second.
McCarthy. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Everyone have a good night.
Good
Thank you
night,
very much.
everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.